Woo! What's going on, guys? Worms Forum coming at you guys today. I haven't done a video in a few days. I got some personal stuff going on in my life, but I wanted to get this. I wanted to get it going a bit, man. I wanted to get it going back. Doing some videos again, keep my mind off some stuff. But anyways, man, I'm gonna do some fantasy football for you guys, man. Fantasy football, and hey, man, I'm making it look like the season's upon us. It's coming. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I got bad news in baseball. I'm getting rid of my fantasy league this year, just for the 1 year, because there's just too much variables going on. I don't know what to do. It's just going to be a gong show of a baseball season. So, but I'm canceling it this year. I got to still tell my guys, but it's happening. But football, man, I'm going right to the very last second. I hope we have it, but this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do some fantasy football. I'm going to do some. I'm not going to do your traditional quarterbacks 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. I'm going to do actually quarterbacks 6 through 10, maybe throw in a sleeper. Okay. Because your traditional quarterbacks for fantasy are pretty standard, man. Like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Your 1 through 5 are pretty easy. Okay, so I'm gonna go 6 through 10, and then I'm gonna do probably a sleeper at the end, maybe 2, 1 or 2. But anyways, this is how I'm gonna start it off, guys. Number 6, Drew Saints, quarterback from the New Orleans Saints. Yes, yes, sir. And that Sean Payton offense that is loaded with weapons. His arm's not the same it was, but it's still Drew Brees, and he's absolutely got talent all around him. He's got guys like Michael Thomas, Kamara. They had an addition of Emmanuel Sanders, a nice deep threat that they picked up from San Francisco 49ers. Longtime vet and real good deep threat. Then they got guys like Traquan Smith, Cook at tight end. Then you got a lot of young bodies at the wide receiver. Guys like they picked up Marquez Callaway, who's young, and Juwan Johnson, another rookie from Oregon. So they got some guys, and then they're just loaded. They're just loaded everywhere. So that's gonna be your number 6 guy with my prediction, probably over 4,000 yards, 30 plus touchdowns, low interceptions, probably around 5 to 7 interceptions. So he doesn't throw a lot of picks, Drew Brees. So remember that, man. His interceptions for the last 3-4 years have been outstanding, maybe even longer. So that's your number 6. Then I'm gonna go number 7. Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals, coming off Rookie of the Year honors. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins, who in my opinion is the best wide receiver in football. They lost running back David Johnson, but they still have Kenyon Drake, so the guy that can catch balls as well. Then they still have Fitzgerald, the ageless one, and then a roster with some pretty nice weapons, guys like Isabella, Christian Kirk. Those kind of guys are all young guys that will contribute big time. And he's a dual threat. So in a fast-paced offense, that Kingsbury offense. So expect big things from Kyler Murray. My prediction for him is over 4,000 yards plus, 25 to 30 touchdowns through the air, maybe around 550 to 600 yards rushing on the ground, and another 6-7 touchdowns on the ground too. So expect big things from Kyler Murray. Now my number 8, Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I said it, Josh Allen. He's not the most accurate guy when it comes to throwing the football, but he's got an absolute cannon for an arm, probably one of the best arms in the league. He just needs to work on his accuracy, obviously. But they added weapons. They added a lot of weapons. They added guys in the draft. Wide receiver Gabriel Davis from UCF. They added running back Zach Moss, who can catch the ball. And then they still have Devin Singletary, who's a really good running back as well. They got guys like Isaiah Hodgins they picked up in the draft. Then they traded for Stephon Diggs, the old Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. So no excuses for Josh Allen. He's absolutely loaded with weapons. So, and he's another dual threat. He's another dual threat guy who's very, very good on the ground. My prediction for him is about 3,500 yards passing, 25 touchdowns. maybe 500 plus yards rushing, and possibly 10 yards on the ground, 10 touchdowns on the ground. So he's very capable of doing that, man. He'll throw some picks, probably get 10, but he's literally averaged over 570 yards rushing in his past 2 seasons as a Buffalo Bill. So he can hit that 600 mark pretty easy, I think. He's a real good pick. Number 8, Josh Allen. Number 9, Carson Wentz from the Eagles. Yeah, Carson Wentz, man. You just got to stay healthy. He needs to stay healthy. His wide receivers were completely beat up last year, decimated in injuries. He's not a great runner. But he's very capable of at least 250, in my opinion, 250 yards on the ground. He won't run long ones for touchdowns or anything like that, but he's athletic, so he's capable of doing it. But you'll be gasping every time you see the guy run because he does get hurt. But I got him at number 9. They got some additions. They picked up wide receiver Jalen Reagor out of TCU, the rookie. Then they picked up a speedster, John Hightower, out of Boise State in the draft too. So they worked on that. They worked on that wide receiving core. They got guys like Alshon Jeffrey still, Deshaun Jackson. Who else they got there? The running backs, Miles Sanders. Traded for Marquise Goodwin from the 49ers. So they got a lot of guys that are kind of like injury prone, but the weapons are there. And then they have all-pro Zach Ertz at tight end. And up and comer Dallas Goedert. So the weapons are there. The weapons are there for Carson Wentz. They just need to help him out. You know what I mean? My prediction for that kid's about 4,300 yards plus, 30 plus touchdowns, and 8 to 10 interceptions. With a little bit rushing on the ground, maybe 200 to 250 yards rushing, maybe throwing a touchdown or two at rushing. So he's my number 9. Now my number 10. Well, boom, right here, my boy TB12, Tom Brady from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Literally, TB12 is surrounded by weapons this year with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and they added Gronk. Gronk came to town. They followed his boy. You know what I mean? So sky's the limit over there. And then you got guys, if Gronk somehow gets hurt, which could happen, you got guys like Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard, who are 2 capable tight ends, and Tom Brady literally loves his tight ends, and it's a heavy dose of tight ends with Tom Brady, heavy dose, and he likes dumping off to a lot of running backs too. So, and they even through the draft they added Tyler Johnson, the wide receiver out of Minnesota. He was a Golden Gopher and he's very, very productive there. So he could probably be their slot. So they're going to have 3 really good wide receivers, 1 superstar tight end in Gronk, and then two other capable ones. So he's got all kinds. He's got all kinds of weapons there. And then they even added guys like Keyshawn Vaughn, the running back. And then they Ronald Jones actually had a good year. Nothing crazy, but it was a solid year. It was a very quiet year, but it was good quiet. You know what I mean? He's a good little running back. So my prediction for TB12 is 4,000 plus yards, 30 plus touchdowns, easy, and then maybe 10 picks. Probably get 10 picks, man. The guy's getting old. You know what I mean? He's in his early 40s, so but he's going to produce. He's going to produce. And don't forget, Brady's the king of the quarterback sneaks. So expect a couple, 2, 3, maybe goal line touchdowns from him there. He won't run for first downs or anything like that, or run for a 60-yard run down the field and get you a big touchdown like that. But he will get you a couple goal line sneaks. Okay, so there's your 6 through 10. There's your 6 through 10. Okay, guys. Drew Brees at 6. Kyler Murray at 7. Josh Allen at 8. Carson Wentz at 9. And number 10, Tom Brady. I'll throw you a sleeper. Drew Lock. Okay, I'm going to throw you a sleeper. Drew Lock. Look him up. He's a Denver quarterback right now. We got a new OC in Pat Shurmur. Pat Shurmur had a real nice feel for as an OC in Minnesota a few years back. This is another guy that's literally surrounded by crazy weapons. So, Drew Lock, guys. Okay. there you go, have it, guys. I'm going to try to come at you guys again with some probably the running backs or wide receivers down the road. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow on my. I'm going solo tomorrow on my stream, so I'll see you guys on YouTube tomorrow. So everybody have a good Saturday. Let's do this, guy. Okay. Boom.